gotta take the gamble. You know what I mean? But
That's
at least 3 to 4.
Oh yeah. You gotta get your yos in. Hold on, go live with Young Triza. Here we go. We're a little late today.
Hey man,
just trying to appear human. That's all we doing.
take the gamble. Oh, you know what I mean?
Double
audio. There we go.
Yeah, we don't need that. All right. I thought I brought you up. Did I not?
Nah, I ain't get nothing.
Bruh, go live with Triza. Here we go. All right, go live with Triza. There we go again. All right.
Dang, you don't want me to go live because I ain't even get the little pop-up thing like it normally do.
Dog, the hate is real.
Hold on, I'm gonna exit out and then go back in.
All right, cool. So, in case you don't know, man, if it's your first time here, welcome. Things like this tend to happen. I see Young Beats Music is in the building. Sorry, man, always at work. Nah, it's all good. Hey, listen, don't ever apologize to me for making your bread.
Hey, man, let me hold something.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
He can't even hear me.
Let your boy. Okay. Oh, he can't hear you. That's right. Triza said, "Let him hold something."
First time. Oh, too much dip on the chip.
Yeah. So listen, man, we're here to talk everything production as soon as I can get Triza in the building for some reason. So let me tell you, we set up today. Everything was perfect. Right as we're about to go on, everything went out. And I don't even see you in here, bro. Are you in here?
Yeah, I keep writing shit. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, me either. Say something. Say something, brother. Yeah, it's fucking up. There you go. I see you. But it's not letting me like fucking join. It's not letting me join forces with you, bro.
Dang, bro. All right, let me exit out one more time.
All right. So while Triza exits out, we're gonna start. I heard a wild take this week too. Once I get you in here, I got to get your take on mono versus stereo.
Ooh, mono y mono.
Facts. Hold on. Rockwilder Music is in the building.
Oh, the Rottweiler.
Hey, everybody else, spam them hearts for young Rockwilder Music. Listen, legends. They just come wafting through. Listen, show your respects. Hit your air horns if you have them for Rockwilder Music. I'm not even playing. If you don't hit your air horns or show some respect, I will escort you out right now. Yes, sir. Beats Music, you already know the vibes. Legendary, sir. Hey, Triza, I don't know, man. I can't get you in here today. What's popping?
I have no idea, cuz.
Seriously, what's going on? Are you saying something in the chat?
Yeah, I'm saying stuff. I just said something.
I don't even see you.
And Diego in there. I see Diego.
Young Diego. Yes, sir. Man, listen, we trying to get this thing together. Yes, sir. Yo, salute to you, family. And we've never chopped it up, but we got to chop it up. If anything, you got to allow me 5 minutes just to give you your flowers. You did? Come on, man. It's been plenty of night I was drinking the wrong thing, grooving to some Rockwilder tunes. Come on, you already know what that is. Yep, Diego in the building. Beats Music is in the building. So while we try to figure out these technical difficulties, I had a super dope week, right? I really got to build with some goats, some real goats this week, right? And I've heard, so when you build with goats, people that are not of the regular ilk, you get to hear some wild takes, right? So one of my OGs told me, and Triza, you can hear me on YouTube for right now, that he hates stereo sounds. I thought that was the wildest take ever. Like, regardless of the instrument, he hates stereo sounds. I just think that that's the craziest thing. Young Triza, are you in the building?
Yeah, I'm in here. I don't know what's going on, dog.
Do you see yourself when you type stuff?
Yeah, I do. I don't think you can see it. I'm seeing if it's an update or something.
All right.
Let's join this. Not let me live.
It's saying go live and rock all the music. I'm not gonna do that to the man. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. Let's see if I could see you in the chat.
Hold on. I'm updating it. It's a little update.
Okay. Got you. But anyway, so the OG shall remain nameless for the time being. But my man hates stereo sounds. And the theory is that sounds hit harder in mono and effects were made to make it stereo. Like that's where effects come in. I don't know if I totally agree with that. Oh, there you go. I see you now. Did you have to hit the young update? That's it?
Yeah, I had to update.
Come on, man. They hating on us.
Young A. Marie hating on you.
That's a fact. Here you go.
Oh, let me turn on the volume.
All right, now it's
All right, we here.
Now it's a party, baby.
I'm here. Shout out to Rockwilder, man. I ain't get to say what up to Rockwilder, but shout out to him, man. GOAT. You know what I mean? The legend. Shout out to his forum. You remember this website back in the day?
Yes.
Bro,
yes.
Bro. Popping, bro. Legendary.
Man, listen, I gotta reach out in the DMs after this. But all right, we're here, man. Let me start the show real quick and then we can get into topics. Welcome, everybody. This is another episode of Unquantized Podcast, the #1 producer podcast anywhere in the world. We talk everything production, such things about how to make money as a producer, how to cope with being a producer, how to get better with your production skills, secret plugins, all that type of good stuff, man. So we're here. We finally got everything together. Shout out to everybody that signed up for the text reminder and got that message to be here at 4:05, and I was here at 4:10. My bad. I knew I was late. I pulled up and the parking lot was full. Y'all was already here, right? So yeah, my bad. But thanks you for everybody who's signing up to the text list. So now that you're in here, I will repeat that one more time. The OG said he hates stereo sounds. He loves mono sounds, and stereo is made by the effects that you put on the mono sounds. What's your take on that, bro?
Hey, man. That's one of them OGs where if he say it, I gotta try it, bro. I don't have no take on it, bro. It's just like, that's interesting. Let me experiment with that drink, and to be honest, I never paid that much attention to it as far as that serious. It's always been like mono for the basses and the kicks, and then keep it, you know what I mean? Keep it pushing.
Yeah. Facts.
But
so there
that's
we go.
a go, man. So
I hate Rockwilder music. I hate whack music. He regardless mono or stereo.
That is right.
He just hates whack music. Man, I have to agree with you on that. Okay, so that actually, funny enough, that was my point. That was my point to the OG. And it's a point that we make on the show a lot of times. And I said, if it's imperceptible to the consumer, does it really make a difference? You know what I mean? Like, will it sound better if it's mono run through effects versus stereo run through effects or whatever? Right. To me, the end result is you won't know the difference. And the OG will go by name as Young No ID. Shout out to No ID.
Hey.
The homie, definitely a brilliant guy. Sometimes you don't know if he's off or if he's brilliant, and it turns out 95% of the time it's just sheer brilliance. So shout out to him. But we were having this debate, and then young Jimmy Douglas, engineer extraordinaire, weighed in. Goat. Yes, another GOAT. Yes, it's been a GOAT type week, and Jimmy weighed in. I like Jimmy's take. Jimmy is like whatever gets the job done fastest, because he's a person that's done it every single way. Saw a lot of technology come into inception. And at this point, Jimmy's like, yo, if it sounds good and I can go home sooner, that's what I'm going to do. And that's not really a take you expect to hear from a super OG like Jimmy Douglas. You figure like there's going to be a purist stance on that. Like, nah, you do it the right way. Jimmy like, yo, I'm trying to go home. And
I'm not mad.
I had to respect it. But I did run some tests though. I'm currently running some tests between mono and stereo right now, just to see if there is a difference. Yeah, to me, I don't think it's going to matter too much.
Yeah, let me know how that go though, because I'm interested. I mean,
Bruh, yeah.
I'll try it out.
Does it really make a difference? I want to know. So Rockwilder said, does it really make a difference? That's what I'm saying. To me, so far, the test I've done, no. Because if you're going to put effects on it, the initial sound may hit harder. I kind of get it. Oh, also, it came down to the conversation was making a choice, because I said, well, if it's a stereo sound, they're going to be two sides. We all agreed on that, right? So now, to me, it's a duet, and each side may sound different depending on the instrument. So now you have to pick a side, literally. I mean, you could sum them all to audio, or you could pick a side, right? So the argument then became, I'm like, well, sonically, you may be gaining something, but in character, you're going to lose something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's two voices coming together as one, immediately, once you take one of those voices out, it's not the same sound anymore. So the conversation got super philosophical, very deep. It started going to human nature and greed and ego and all types of other shit that had nothing to do with mono or stereo. But that's just the illustration of the type of week that I've had.
Diego says, I make shitty ratchet music, so it don't matter. The shittier, the better for me. Don't let Diego fool you like he just be making these ratchet ass beats all the time.
Nah, Diego up here, he on the charts for a reason. It's not by happenstance. But that does kind of lead to, does the consumer really know?
That is also true. Right. I don't think it's that big of a difference, bro. I mean, I'm a try, but I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think people are like, man, he recorded this in mono with effects, you know. But I feel like it might make some cool, cool sounds, cool textures. So I'll try it out. I mean, no idea know what he's talking about, bro. So
that's a fact. That's a super fact. Oh, by the way, feel free. Oh shit, I was about to say, feel free to start putting some questions in here, but y'all already started. I'm loving it.
Hey,
I'm loving it.
I'm over here hurt, bro.
What's up?
Cause man, yesterday I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go exercise. You know what I mean? Go get on the bike, do a light. Normally I do about 30 miles on the bike, but I hadn't been on the bike in months, bro. I was like, I'm gonna do 20. That would be good, bro. I'm hurt, bro. I'm over here sitting. Y'all see, I'm over here squirming, and my legs is on fire right now, bro.
So you physically hurt over there,
bro? I'm hurt. Like he needs some milk, type hurt, bro.
Damn, my man needs the milk. All right. Question: why do my questions keep getting cut off at the end? So I don't know how much you can see, but it says, now that you make money through music, do you find it harder to make music when? And then that's all I got.
It says when money ain't involved.
No. Mm-hmm. I actually feel like it's easier to make music when money's not involved. It's easier because for a few reasons. Number one, you could say no to certain things. That to me, I didn't always feel like I had the opportunity or the leisure to say no to a lot of stuff. But once money's not like really the big thing, no, you can say no, and then you could do the types of things that you want with the type of people that you want. Now, with that being said, it's easier to make music in that instance, but with that being said, I personally am not always motivated to make music when money is not the issue. And that's because if money is not the issue, it doesn't mean money is not the issue because of music that I've made. Money could not be the issue because of other things. And those other things could start to pull you away from the music. I know I've been through that personally. Triza, I know you've gone through that as well. And we seem to go back and forth, with going through it. So I feel it's more of a relief to not have to make music per se for money, but at the same time too, it takes a little bit more of an incentive for me to make music in certain instances with certain people or in certain situations,
Yeah, I feel like money makes stuff a little more difficult. I feel like I had the best times of my life when I won't making money off of music. That was like the greatest of just making music just to be making it. I feel like when it's checks involved, sometimes, you know, it kind of throws you off. You doing stuff because you have to in a way, not necessarily because you want to. But I
Yeah,
mean, that money does offer the freedom to, you know, do what you want to do with your life. So it's like a yin and a yang to it.
I agree. Let's see. Rockwilder said, I'm more interested in the artist having a marketing strategy than charging. That is true.
I'm not mad at that at all.
No, that's a really interesting take. I mean, it's not a crazy take, but yeah, because the thing is, you could charge somebody whatever, but let's say it's Joe Blow from off the block. You could charge him whatever the price is. You're going to get paid in the short term, but in the long run, you're not going to get anything versus somebody who has marketing, who has some reach, who has some eyes, some
Exactly.
ears, and some pull. You're going to get paid for a longer period of time. And as much as it's funny and shunned upon in the producer community, you're more likely to get some exposure that you didn't have with a few other people. You know what I mean? And exposure is the only thing someone is offering and that person doesn't have any pull, that's when it's funny.
Exactly.
But when it's somebody that does have an audience and does have some pull, exposure can be a very valuable thing, you know.
He says, if they don't, I charge. And that kind of goes back to like what we always talk about. Like, you know, either if I believe in you, we working, we cooking, we building something. But if it's a situation where it's not like that, like, all right, then I'm a tax. You know what I mean? But it's like one or the other. I feel like sometimes that lowball pricing thing kind of backfires on you when you like go too cheap. It's either like, all right, I believe in you and we're gonna build something, or all right, we gotta figure something out. It's not really an in between.
Right. Now that's a really good point. And I would say that if it's any artists in here, and I know it's at least 1, 2, 3, 10 of y'all in this joint, work on making yourself just work on making yourself as credible as you possibly can.
That's right.
And one of the gauges to see how credible you are might be the fact that more producers will be willing to work with you without taxing you. If you're just getting taxed off the rip, that means that you are most likely providing no value to the producer except for whatever finances you could throw at the situation. So, you know, now if it's somebody like, let's say Jay hits you like, yo, I want you to do a song for me for free. Regardless of why he said that, you're most likely going to be like, yeah. If he's like, yeah, I'm going to put your name on it and tell everybody that you did it. You would most likely do that for free versus Jay from next door being like, yeah, I want to do this song. You going to hit Jay from next door. You going to be like, all right, it's going to be the exclusive rate and all that good stuff because nobody knows you and only you and your kids are going to listen to the song. So as an artist, I would work on making myself a lot more credible whenever possible.
Jay-Z hit you. You like, what BPM were you thinking, sir? I was thinking a nice 85.
Are you a fan of French horns?
Let's try out some different options. Let's figure it out.
That's a fact. Yo, that is a fact.
Feeling like G minor today? Let's do G minor. Let's run it.
There you go. Still in the key of H for hope. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. So someone said you'll eventually win, even though it's most likely just hard work and hope. Yeah. I try to get out of the hope category. I did a lot of years of hoping. And yo, those are some stressful ass years, bro.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. I went through years of the Def Jam calls where, oh man, guess who just cut a joint? Cut a joint to your beat. It'll be 3 people that you never even believe would be on your joint, and then it never comes out. So I try to remove myself from that whole hope thing right there.
I don't want to know now until the producer deck comes in. Till that paper comes in, like, all right, we about to use it. I don't be wanting to know because it's like it's too much, man. You get them calls, and I mean, I guess you got to know in the process, but it just, bro, that joint be stressful because then you got to act like you don't know anything. It's like, all right, back to square, you know what I mean? Square root, you know what I mean? I don't know anything about it. Keep pushing, but I mean, realistically, it's hard to not think about you got a record coming out with these people. You know what I mean? So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta act like it's not there. Keep working.
Yeah, you eventually get to the point where you don't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went through a lot of that. Like, oh man, I got something on the line, but I ain't telling nobody till it's out.
That's facts. Oh, shout out. I don't know if Diego's still in here. Diego steady getting records out. So I mean, shout out to him, but it's nothing new to him. You know what I mean? But shout out to Young Chambers, part of the show. You know what I mean? Family member, got his first record on charts, co-produced with Diego. So hey, I'm happy for my boy. My boy in high school, man, out here turning up on him. So I'm proud of him, man.
Facts. Shout out to Young Chambers, man. Friend of the show.
Yes, sir.
Oh, somebody said you already know Ableton 11 week, my G. That is a fact. Everybody out there, if you got your Ableton 11 this week, spam those. Oh shit. I think I cut the joint off. Hold on.
Oh snap! Something happened.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, if you got your Ableton 11 this week, spam those hearts. Ableton 11, hottest thing on the music streets now.
I gotta go hit that update. I gotta go get it.
Dog. It's fire.
I'm hearing great things about it.
It's fire. Has Ableton ever missed though?
No, not that I can. Even back in the day, Ableton was fire when they used to come with the MIDI keyboards.
Yeah, when they hit the AOL marketing method.
Yeah,
so, bro.
Yeah, I need to check it out.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you that joint is a beast, and it's going great with the new sample pack that came out last week. The Young Digital Wax. I'm getting to throw them Ableton features on the new kit. I ain't gonna lie, I've been in heaven, bro. All week, like sonically, I've been very, very inspired, bro.
Oh, I bet it's like it's like the virtual guitar center. It's like you got new toys. Now it's like, all right, let me experiment with this joint.
Yes, indeed. I also broke out the MPC 2000 this week. Yeah, I went back like to the roots. I don't know if you saw my story, but I got the 2000 set up. Then I found the zips, the archives.
Oh snap!
No, the sounds on that joint, a lot of those one shots and things that I was talking about, man, some of the sounds on those zips.
Oh, it's crazy.
Amazing.
You said it like you pulled out a bottle of wine. Like, yeah, today we had the 1972 Chateau.
That's a fact. Seriously though, we had a 98 snare in there today. No, but it's amazing. And once again, I gotta shout out No ID. Talked to him the other day. He's like, yo, go back to what you first started on and just let me know how you feel, because we was having some debates. He's like, just go back to what you just started on. I was reluctantly like, I break out the 2000, I run stuff through it every now and again, but I was like, all right, I'll make a beat on this today. Bruh, the feeling, it's a sheer feeling thing. The feeling, I felt super like the youth. I felt super youthful. But the thing is, I didn't realize like I still know that joint like the back of my hand.
Oh yeah,
and super fast on it.
That's why that joint ain't going away. I'm about to pull out Fruity Loops 4 on y'all. Come on, man. That joint ain't even gonna load on my computer.
Facts. And let's see, hold on. I'm kidding on Splice. That has my zip sounds. See, the Buried Bones kit. That's Young Rockwilder music.
Y'all check that out on Splice.
Man, y'all already know what to do. You already know what to do. But it's something to be said about going back through like the old archives where you first started.
Oh yeah.
I took a lot of that stuff for granted. And part of the conversation we were having the other day was I was talking about my joy but frustration about things like the MPC one. I love the MPC one because it's the best of the MPC, combined with being able to use a computer and it's smaller and blah 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 and all that. But it still feels a bit cumbersome. Like I couldn't use it exclusively to make a beat right now without feeling like I'm kind of tripping over myself at certain points. And it boiled down to the fact is that with the touchscreen on it and things not being like super static and in place, I can't develop muscle memory. Like with hardware, you develop muscle memory because nothing's going anywhere.
Yeah, that's
like
real.
The buttons are always in the same place. And if you use something for 10 years, like maybe me on the MPC 2000, I didn't realize how much I never look at it. And that's the difference. Like, so I'm using it. It took about 20 minutes for it to really come back. But then after the 20 minutes, I realized like I'm doing shit. I'm on the phone. I'm trimming samples. I'm just doing the whole, and I'm not looking at the screen at all. And I'm like, damn, no idea. That's right.
That's where what was the MPC and they put the note repeat on the screen. Which one? You got it, I think, bro. Because that was right when I had got off the Renaissance, and I was going to get another one, and then when they did that, I was like, oh, I'm cool. I don't like that, like, because to me it's like it's one of those things you need the physical button. You know what I mean? Like you can't, the screen don't do it because I don't know. It's like a feeling for it. You know what I mean? So it's like having a screen. I don't know, man. They still ain't figured that part out where it's like it makes sense on the screen.
The techie in me is like, yo, it was the best thing ever to have a screen. But okay, so Rockwilder brings up a good point. He said, "What about the Renaissance?"
Oh man, great.
Actually, okay, the Renaissance itself, yes, I believe that the same workflow could be developed with the Renaissance as like maybe with a hardware MPC like a 2000 or 2000 XL XYZ. I didn't spend enough time on the Renaissance before something else came out. Because at the time of the Renaissance, you remember, I think I met you like right around the time I got my Renaissance, or when the Renaissance came out. But I also had a machine. I was also using a computer. Also had like 5 different other things. Whereas like the MPC 2000, that was the only thing I was using. That and some records or whatever, and that was really it. So I think I just didn't put enough of the time in with the Renaissance, because you could still technically develop the muscle memory because it does have the static buttons and it gives you the computer, the computer linkage thing. So I might break the Renaissance back out, stop using it just for decoration.
That just a coffee holder. It's a coaster over there.
Nice little art piece right now. So I might do that. But I do know one thing, and I'm gonna get off the whole 2000 talk, is that it's something about that jog wheel setup on the original 2000.
Oh man, that's the best feature, bro. I love that feature.
It has so for those that don't know, the original 2000, the 2000 XL has a jog wheel too, which is dope. It's clicky and it has the indentation for your finger in it. But the original 2000, it has that, but on the outside of that, it's a thin wheel that you can turn, and it moves like from decimal places and stuff. So if you want to, say for instance, trim a start point, you click it back a couple times to move to like the hundreds place. Do you move the jog wheel and click it a couple times? It's just a way that those two rings work together that makes everything like super fast on the 2000. So I'm in love again. Basically, I feel like I'm dating a shorty from high school again, and I didn't realize how much I liked her. I mean, I liked her back in the day, but man, now that I'm older, I really appreciate her. That type of deal.
Shawty a little baddie. Shawty my little boo.
What my man say? Barbara.
Bro, I've been listening to D4L nonstop, bro. I don't know what it is about Fable, dog. It's the music, bro. It's just so like, it's so ratchet and janky that it's excellent, bro. It's like you can't recreate that anywhere else.
No, you can't.
Shout out to Billboard Hitmakers. They said Renaissance was cool. Yeah, Renaissance was a vibe, man. I ain't even gonna front.
No, it was the closest between a hardware MPC and the newer MPC. And at the time, I became frustrated with it because I was like, well, they're adding new features, and now I got to deep dive on too many menus, and I guess that's why they did away with it. But now I'm thinking back, all the features that they added aren't necessarily features that I should have been into on that type of machine. Yeah. I should have just thought about it like the regular 2000 and then dealt with it as such. But I'm gonna go back, man. Dealing with this 2000 and young Rockwilder music, he's inspired me. And shout out to Billboard Hitmakers.
Hey.
Yo, way to pick a name and live up to it.
Man. Right.
I mean, shit, let's talk about that for a minute, man. It's rare that somebody picks a name and really lives up to it, because if they kind of live on Billboard,
I'm about to change my my name to Multi Diamond Records Productions.
Lou Diamond Records.
Man. Rockwilder said, but I'm possessed by the Reason Propeller Head Gang.
Okay. So, Rockwilder, it's your first time in the building. I want to introduce you to my co-host, Triza.
Oh, God.
There's been a running joke on this podcast for 5 years that my man despises Reason.
I don't care for Reason. It's not my cup of tea.
Damn. Well,
I don't want smoke because I've already got
Toop
was about to kill me over a meme. I was like, all right, bro, I'm cool. I don't want no smoke with Toop.
Yes, sir. So, hey, listen. So we just add Rockwilder to, because every time we talk about Reason, to be fair, we also list the list of great people that we know who use Reason. So yeah, it's not trash, but it's trash to some for some reason.
Let's see. Is there a way to automate backups? I wonder, are you talking about for your DAW or are you talking about for your computer?
Right.
Let me know.
The answer is going to be yes for both of them. You can automate backups on your computer. I don't know if you're using a Mac or a PC, but it's been a long time since I've done it. I'll be honest with you. Like, I remember when I used to back up my PC with an automated joint. I think I was using not Norton Ghost or not Ghost, but it was some type of program. But now I think Windows might actually come with a built-in automated backup, and I think Mac does too. I could be wrong. Somebody check me on that. But just look it up. Just look it up. I'm pretty sure that there are ways. And as far as DAWs go, I use Ableton. Ableton just automatically, like, if it crashes or something, it's gonna offer you the joint to bring it back up.
Yeah.
Now I can answer a question that some people might have, or a question that you don't even know that you have. So if Ableton crashes and it brings you back up at a point, what point does it bring you back up from? I've often wondered that, so I did the research. I know Ableton brings you back up from your last undo. I do know that.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
However, if you just start something, or if you've been doing something for a while, you never save, you never hit undo and it crashes, it still brings you back up at a fairly recent point, but I don't know what that's based off of. But I do know whatever point that is, if you do an undo past that point, it brings you back up from your last undo.
Oh yeah, I be needing, bro. I'm the worst at that, bro. I'll start making a beat, do the whole beat, and then be like, "Oh, I never saved at all."
Yeah,
I'm terrible with that, bro.
Hey, listen, man. I listen. Thank God for that, because shit be crashing and things be going wrong, and I'm just happy it brings me back up.
So Rockwilder says, "Well, I guess I make trash sounds really good. Why do they call my Reason trash?" Oh man, I feel like, bruh, this is one of the things. It's like, I'm never gonna outlive this. But I will say, my thing with Reason is I don't like when companies don't innovate, right? And it took them forever to get VSTs, which I thought was like the weirdest thing. It's like they were like the last to that party, and I do feel like it's, in a way, it's kind of overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the setup. I don't like the interface. I'm big on design, like UI, UX. I don't like how, it just, to me, it's too much. Like, when I seen Ableton, I'm like, this is genius. Like, this makes sense. It's simple, but you can make it as complex as you want to. To me, Reason starts off kind of complex, and then it didn't have a bunch of the stuff at that time. Now I know they got all that stuff, but that's where my Reason beef came from. Just like I have a beef with Akai for like putting certain stuff, like we were talking about the screen thing. Like, I just feel like sometimes these companies aren't listening to the people who are really using it. It's like they think of stuff from like an engineer's perspective, not really a producer joint. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. He says, I agree, but now VSTs are in. Do we still hate it?
now still more of a joke. It's a running joke.
On camera, I have to hate it because that's become, I'll be out in public and people be like, "Oh, you still hate Reason?" People run up on Oracle like, yo, what's up with your boy? What's up with your boy?
Where Triz at? I tell him I use Reason. I'm like, yo, I think it's just a joke.
It's a whole thing, bro. It's a whole thing. So on camera, yes, I still have to hate it, but in real life, I think people gonna make fire with everything.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Shout out to our Reason users. Somebody said the same thing with Studio One. I don't know much about Studio One. All I know is that joint used to come with Melodyne back in the day, and that's what made it worth checking out to me. And I haven't checked it out since. And I think that was like 2004, or something like that.
I do feel like Studio One need to hire a new marketing department, because that's when out of all the dolls, I hear about that the least, as far as like people using it and like influencers and stuff like that. For some reason, I don't know why they just don't show up like that.
Facts. Yeah. That's a fact. Billboard Hitmaker says I'm back on Ableton. Studio One Fire Don't Sleep. What, back on Ableton? What? Oh,
it was on the FL.
It was on the FL. Yeah. I can't hate.
What made you switch? What made you switch? I mean, I'm not mad.
Like what made them switch to FL or switch back?
Switch back.
Yeah. I bought something after having a session with Billboard Hitmakers. I think it was the APC.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, that and the little keyboard. I was in there, man. Dub was like whipping that joint around. I was like, bruh, I gotta get this. The only downside to it is that it didn't have a transport control on it. I was like, this joint would have been so perfect because it had the little squares. I could have, you could mess with the clips and all that, but it didn't have a transport control. That's the only thing. Nothing's perfect. There's no controller that's perfect.
Hey man, they need to hire a young Oracle.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these companies, I'm so confused about why they tap who they tap for certain things. You would figure somebody like me, somebody like you, for 5 years, every Friday, we get on here and we prove that we know what we're talking about. We prove that we're really into this shit. And, we even talk about, for real, to be honest with you, man, if they just tapped in, they would get some gems off the rip, because we talk about how things could be improved. We got community feedback here. But yet they will tap Jimmy Just Started for their marketing campaign. I'm like,
it don't make sense.
Yeah, what are you doing? He's like, oh no, I'm a brand new trip hop producer. Bro, what's going on?
I think they don't. I think Fruity Loops. The reason why Fruity Loops is so great. I mean, we talked about it a million times, but Fruity Loops was made to make music from a guy who doesn't make music, right? So that's why it's so easy to pick up. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's so easy because the person who created it isn't a musician. They're not thinking of it like from an engineering, like when I say engineering, not like mixing, but like UI, UX, that kind of, they're not looking at it from that kind of platform. They're looking at it like, dude was like, I want to do this, and this is how I can get it done. I feel like Ableton is the most complex, but still it's simple enough that where you can pick it up. Yeah. I feel like it went, and then everything else is like, it's weird. Like certain stuff, you be like, why did you put that here? Like, or why this is the feature that everybody loves. Why would you change this one feature to be something completely different? And it's like, yeah, this is what we love about it, Right. So, yeah, that'd be my only thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Most people really on that Studio One. Okay.
It's crazy because I don't hear that many people talk about it, bro. But then it's like when I get it, like we get it here, people start talking about it. I gotta do more research, bro. Yeah, that's what it is.
Listen. Okay, so someone says this is a cool question here. Good day. I wonder who wrote this.
Indeed, good day.
Who wrote that? Okay. So anyway, good day. Which plugin will work well when mixing electric guitars? So as far as like, I'm gonna go from an effects standpoint of just what plugin would be good or what plugins are good on electric guitars. A fan favorite and a big favorite of mine for probably a decade now, Guitar Rig.
Oh yeah.
Cannot sleep on Guitar Rig. I don't know what Guitar Rig they're on now, 6, 7, something like that. Guitar Rig is the go-to for guitars. It's like buying a million guitar pedals. But also Guitar Rig, we talked about last week, like effects that are really dope when used with sounds that they weren't intended to be used with. Guitar Rig is one of the best examples ever. I guarantee you, I've used Guitar Rig every year for probably the last 10 years. And the last 7 of those years, I've run everything but guitars through that joint.
Bruh. Same here.
It's amazing, bro. So yeah. Yo, Guitar Rig for the win. I might have to circle back around and break that out this weekend.
I think Nintendo had asked too about a plugin for electric guitars earlier. If I got your question wrong, my bad. But I'm pretty sure that was a question.
Yes, it was for electric guitar, and that's who asked this question.
Oh, okay, so
I can tell by the good day.
It's a contact plugin for me. The plugin ones they don't do the articulation as well. Is it real guitar or true guitar? It's one of the, but it's decent. Is it
the one with like that plays like the phrases?
It's got the strums and stuff with it.
Yeah, it's damn, I used it too. It's not an acoustic guitar. I don't know.
I think it's real guitar and they have an electric version. But the thing with guitars is how you chord, you have to be careful with, or it's not going to sound like a real guitar. Because if you chord like a piano, then it's going to be like, because naturally the guitar doesn't play some of those chords, so it doesn't give you that authentic feel. Like, so I had to sit there and like practice and like really study on like, oh, okay, this is how you make the chords do that. Because if not, it's gonna sound it just doesn't sound authentic. You know what I mean? But once you figure that out, then you in there.
That's a real good gem, because often if you have a keyboard, you just pick a sound and you play it. But if you want to be true to the sound, you have to think and study how that actual sound is played. There are certain things that you can't do with certain instruments that you might be able to do with a keyboard, and vice versa. So if you really want to keep that sound true, you know what I mean? You gotta study the instrument.
Anonymous says real Strat. Okay, that's a good one to check out. I don't know if I'm familiar with it, but
nah.
I be forgetting the name of these plugins. I ain't gonna lie.
It's one that's a jazz guitar joint. I think it's made by Native. And it's like the jazz version of the acoustic one that we're talking about. And I think it's just simply called Jazz Guitar by Native Instruments, but I could be wrong.
Young Ponzu, what up, bro?
Ponzu, air horn for you, brother. Air horn. Yes, sir.
Let's see what else we got. This is not production related, but it's music related. Did you see the baby had the beef with because he mentioned JoJo Siwa? You don't even know who JoJo Siwa is, do you?
You already know.
Yeah. You only know that person if you have kids. It's one of those.
Like JoJo Siwa. I believe I've used this jelly before, but I don't know. I don't know nothing else.
Points.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This podcast is sponsored by Manscaped.
Man makes a fine jelly, I'll tell you that much.
But no, it was like a punchline, and everybody thought he was dissing like this little girl, and I'm like, y'all don't understand the punchline.
It's been a lot of obvious things where people just went there with it.
It's one of those like, well, it's been a lot of miscommunications with like punchlines, because the Meek Mill thing with the Kobe thing. I didn't like that. I ain't gonna front. I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I wasn't really rocking with that bar. Yeah, I mean, I got, as somebody that loves bars and cleverness and all that, if it just fell a little short. It fell short on being a good bar, and it was way overshot on distastefulness and too soon. Like,
and I get it, because it's like hip hop, and that's like a common thing. Like, you make a bar, it's like it's rap. You know what I'm saying?
It's what hip hop is. Yeah.
It's something about the Kobe thing, man, that I feel like you can't do it, man. Like, Kobe is from the hip hop culture. If y'all remember, Kobe dropped albums, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then every rapper looks up to Kobe. I feel like everybody looks up to Kobe in some kind of way. You know what I mean? For the most part, you got to respect it. And it just felt, I don't know, man. I didn't like that. I'm a huge Kobe fan. So it's like, I ain't like it. And then I just feel like Meek had a whole like past couple weeks of like stupid decisions. And then that was another one on top of the other one. It was just like,
very bad timing.
Yeah.
It was certain, like, first of all, that's what hip hop is. It's distasteful things that are being said in the name of cleverness and just having a hot bar. However, there's certain times and certain people that are exceptions to that rule. And this was obviously one of those times. So when it comes to something like this, it looks more like not a publicity stunt, but like a shock value type of
Yeah.
thing that you're going for. Like, oh, if I say this, it's going to get people talking, and no such thing as bad promotion type deal. And I get it, but you got to be careful in certain instances with certain people. And this was one. And I think he kind of knew, but I'm pretty sure that bar is not going to be on anything official at all.
Yeah. I think what it is that bar was like mid. Like if the bar
Very
was like
mid.
crazy, I think people would have let it slide. But because it was so like, then it's just like, all right, bro, you gonna take that shot. You gonna that's a risky swing that you taking anyway. And it was mid on top of that. It's like,
Yeah. So I mean, however, don't be out here trying to cancel Meek, though.
Yeah.
That's one of them things. I'm like, all right, let's pipe down, bro. Because people be, I'm never listening to Meek again. I'm like, man, go ahead.
I just want him to like. I just feel like I don't know if he got the right people, right? I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like he makes these mistakes a lot of like perception on the internet, and I get it. You know what I mean? Just like, bro, we all make like crazy or say stuff out of context and it seems well, but I just feel like he constantly has the same. It's the same issue every time, and it's like, all right, bro, come on, like you got to learn from this at some point. Like,
I want to side with that of him not having the right people around. However, where's the switch? Or are those the same people? Because you were around people that got you around Robert Kraft and got you involved. Like, so you were or are around the right people, but then you do something like this and it makes people be like, well, who are you around?
Right.
Is this the same crew of people that got you with the Robert Crafts of the world that are also sitting there with you while you do the Tekashi shit or the Kobe bar? So maybe it's just different groups of people. Far be it for me to judge. I don't know the lifestyle. I don't know what it comes with. But what I do know is I personally wouldn't have did that Kobe bar.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I ain't like that. I ain't like that one at all. I took that one. I felt some kind of way that day. I was like, man, come on, bro, not Kobe, bro. That's one of the ones, man. I feel like Kobe's gonna be like. Now I'm thinking about getting. I mean, it's a kind of a Kobe-ish tattoo, but it's it means it's one of those tattoos that for me it would like you could flip it 5 different ways, so it makes sense, but it has a tie to the Kobe situation thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One, my birthday is 808, right? So the 8, you know what I mean? I could finesse a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kobe. You know what I mean?
Sir. Yes, sir. Very fire. Zulu Child said, I guess that spanking he got from Drake didn't do it. Damn, man. Damn. Don't get punched in the face in 6th grade. They'll never let you forget about it, bro. They will never let you forget about it.
Never happening.
Damn.
Bro, I didn't read this article, but Complex says Lupe Fiasco recounts the time L.A. Reid told Kanye he should stick to making beats.
Damn,
bro.
Hey, we all say some crazy shit.
We all make some bad predictions. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. That's
a bad prediction right there, bro. Like,
damn, yeah. Hey, listen, for goats ain't goats all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
everybody gets something wrong, and that was a bad one.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, we got a lot of questions in here.
Oh, sure, let's get it.
Yeah, I forgot. Let's go. First of all, Prod Vibe or Vib 5. My man puts like 7 questions in.
Oh yeah, he be on it.
But that's smart because these questions are the ones that make the clips.
Oh yeah, exactly.
On the joints, and it's what gets everybody talking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Is it better to stay independent if you're willing to put forth? If you're willing to put in the hours? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the thing about, and I'm assuming you're talking about like independent versus like maybe being signed. Let's just take that as an example. But if you're looking to get a deal, artist or producer, in this day and age, you can't shortcut the independent route because now the labels aren't like just going around looking for individuals that may or may not be talented. They're looking for people that other people are already invested in, that other people already like, and that other people are already a fan of and following. So in order to be attractive to a label or whoever, or at least put yourself in a position to not get a super shitty deal, you have to have some level of success independently in your lane to even be considered a viable candidate for something like a label deal. And I honestly think that if you went super hard in the independent lane, that you might find that you wouldn't need a label, right. At least maybe not in the capacity that you once thought you did, and more or less maybe a partnership, or you might try to get some distribution type of thing jumped off, but it will put you less at the label's mercy. You know what I'm saying? So like, regardless of what you want in the end, I advise everybody to do the most that you can with what you have right now to win as an independent, and do it as if there's no label coming. Do it as if there's nobody ever coming to save you. And number one, you'll gain more confidence and you'll become a better person just simply for the fact that you'll really be accomplishing something. So I say just go for it, man, really in the independent lane. And the label stuff, it could come along, but at least make yourself a more attractive candidate.
Yeah, I don't think, to be honest, I think independent is the only route until you get to a certain point. It's like you have to get to it's like Shark Tank, like we talk about all the time. On Shark Tank, if you watch, you could tell who's going to get a deal 9 times out of 10, right?
Yeah.
If they have sales, they're asking for a reasonable percentage, right? And it's a proof of concept, but they have something unique, they're always going to get a deal, bro. Or people at least going to bid on them. Yeah. And it's always the people who don't have nothing going for themselves is the ones that they be like, oh, everybody passes on, right? They don't have any traction. So it's like, it's no proof of concept. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you have they'd be like, oh, I'm asking for $200,000, but you only got $40,000 worth of sales. Unless you got something super innovative, nobody's coming for that. Nobody wants that because it's not a proven concept. The market, isn't determining the value. So same thing with being an artist or a producer. It's like, you have to get your value up, and then that would be an option. But anything to streaming and all of this, the internet's teaching people is that you don't necessarily have to go that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do independent and you can make great money and a great living from doing it that way and be on your own terms rather than signing deals. In a certain situation, I don't want to say like deals are all bad, but I think people are starting to see what they are for it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And people are more savvy now. It's more places where you can get the knowledge. I will say in closing on that, damn, I forgot what I was going to say in closing on that. But
close.
Yeah, close. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Beats Music says, speaking of birthdays, my birthday is on Sunday, Pisces gang.
Hey, shout out to young Beats Music, man.
On Sunday, remember to go.
Man, let me get my little drink, cuz.
Yes, sir. Remember to go holler at that man. You know what I mean? Wish that man a happy birthday. Oh, I remember what I was going to say about the label thing. Put yourself in a position to get what you need from them and not what they give you. That is very important because they'll offer you some bullshit.
Oh yeah, they're gonna offer you $1,000 and you gotta sign your life away.
Exactly. So that's it. Let's see. We got more questions. More questions. Bro, I'm gonna get back to you. Let's see. Which is more lucrative, making music for shows or making music for movies?
Ooh.
I don't know. I would say both. I'm definitely going to say try to do both, because without knowing like the dollar amounts or anything like that, a movie, it depends on how big or small the movie is. Is it made for TV? Is it never going to TV? Is it made for YouTube? Is it in theaters? Remember those? Is it in theaters? If it's a show, I'm willing to think it's going to have more episodes.
More consistent.
It's gonna be more consistent. It's gonna go on for a longer time, whereas a movie is just a one-time watch or a one-time thing. But depending on where it's placed, like if it's on Netflix, it could get watched over and over and over again for time to come. So I don't really know how to answer that question. Just basically to break it down, it depends on so many factors that I believe, like if the factors are stacked one way or the other, either one of them would be the more lucrative outcome, depending on what the situation was.
I got to get my homie on here one of these days, man. I met him in LA, and you know how I spoke with, like, I did some music for like the Rihanna. She had a fashion show. It's like Project Runway, I think it was. And I did a lot of music for that, and it was because of him. And that's all he does is like pitch to movies and TV. And super good dude, man. Super smart, man. So
definitely
I gotta get him on here one day so he could give more knowledge. Because I was in that game for a second, but I kind of slowed down with it. It was not that it was nothing wrong with it. I just feel like it's a different mindset of thinking about music that way. Like you had to think of it. I feel like it's like a lot of stuff like stings and like all the stuff that you had to make beats differently.
You didn't like
you would.
Stings.
I hate it, bro. I hate it. It just felt so corny, bro. You know what I mean? Just that
Stings
one note. Yeah, it's just that one note holding it out.
One note with flair. You got to put some flair on that joint. Yeah.
But I mean, it's people out here killing, bro, doing that. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good just to know like different options, man. Because, you know, what might be for somebody might be better for somebody else. You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta know.
Oh man, first of all, we got two very important people in the building. I'm going to announce them in order that it came in. Of course, you know, soundoracle.net's own Young Realistic is in the building. Realistic Productions. Come on, man. You got to spare them hearts for my guy. You already know what it is. And also in the building, Young Big Shot Beats. What's happening, brother?
Young Big Shot.
Man, if y'all don't know, first of all, go follow both of them guys. I'm assuming if you're in here, you already follow Realistic. If not, you know,
go follow them.
Yeah, do your thing. Big Shot Beats is another one. Listen, man, go follow my guy. Fellow nerd. I'm gonna go ahead and call you a nerd in the most sincere way. You are a fellow nerd, super hardworking guy, super great at the marketing. So go follow Big Shot Beats. You're gonna get some gems every time you see him speak. You already know what it is, man, for sure. Smoking Aces. What do you say? I'm actually moving into this TV and film stuff. Okay, I'm loving it so far. Gives me a chance to step into so many different avenues. I believe it.
That's facts.
I guess that's a good way to switch. It's a way that will allow you to switch genres, unlike music might be. Because if you a music producer, 9 times out of 10, you're kind of going to get pegged to do a certain type of genre. Whereas with TV, I believe you're
doing everything.
Yeah, you might have to be a little more versatile, you know, because hey, you got to do this National Geographic joint. Now you got to do this Real Housewives joint. Those are two totally different things.
I got some homies that do the music for The Masked Singer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's, bruh, I mean, you got to be kind of not all over the place, but your range has got to be like pretty good because they have you doing rap one day, you know what I mean, to like some pop song, like a Ariana Grande flip. So it's like a lot of, you got to really know sonics and musicality and being able to change chords and stuff like that. Like, because sometimes it can't be spot on. Sometimes with the TV stuff, they'd be like, "Yo, we want a song that feels like I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas," but it can't be exact.
Right.
Okay? So you got to know how to, like, all right, I'm gonna switch a chord, switch this melody around, so it's not exact, but it's still got the same feeling.
Facts. Shout out to people that could do that seamlessly.
Oh yeah, that's big facts.
Zulu Child says, "I just got to say, you guys have really come into yourselves as a podcast. Come a long way, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir, man. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see what other questions that we got. Brewing on the line. Oh, I am DJ Wiseman. What up? He got a question. Let's see. What are good ways to showcase for songwriters?
Man, write some songs.
Hey, well, a good way to showcase showcase your beats for songwriters.
Oh, I thought he was saying like as a songwriter, the way to showcase your songs, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not sure which angle he was talking about, but I mean, I don't know. As a producer, I don't know if I know a good way to showcase your beats for the songwriters. I do know the good types of beats to showcase for songwriters, and that would be the ones with a lot of space for them in there. But I feel like I'm answering the question just to answer some aspect of what I think you're asking, but I don't really know exactly what you're asking.
Yeah. I mean, either way, I mean, just send the pack over. Don't send too much. Don't send too little. You know what I mean? Send about 3 or 4. Send a pack. Say, hey, I mean, if you're a producer and you're trying to get songwriters, if you're a songwriter, you're trying to showcase. It's the reverse. Write a bunch of songs, put them joints out there because to me it's a shortage of songwriters, bro. It's not that it's hard to find really good songwriters. But the ones that figure it out are killing. Like, it's this girl named Nisha. If y'all, man, look her up, bro. She wrote was it Drake and Chris Brown that you I keep forgetting the name of You Got It.
Bad
No Games, that's what it's called.
No
That's
Games. There we
yeah.
go.
She wrote that, bro. All these Cardi B records, bro. She's like 20, 21, I want to say 22. She's young, bro. And all these hit records is coming out. She wrote all of them, bro. So it's like once a songwriter gets on, like Esther Dean. When Esther Dean, bro, when Esther Dean came through, bro, she wrote everything, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like with songwriters, man, it's just getting out there. Like, you know what I mean? Showing people that you got a talent and being consistent and understanding. I don't want to say it's a formula, but it's like it's a pattern to songwriting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once you understand that pattern and you can be consistent, man, it's out here.
Yes, definitely. Let's see. Slim Trill said, what's the most impactful thing someone's told you that pushed you into a new mindset? That's a deep question. I will say, like I said, I've had a long week.
Oh yeah, you got some gems this week.
Talking to the GOAT. And one of the things that I shared with Triza last night, that No ID said was, you have to create an environment for success.
That was the bar.
I think he was just in casual conversation. He just said it. You know what I mean? But to me, that was a real bar. So much that I definitely wrote it down, like on the whiteboard to have on the wall. So that was the newest thing for me that jarred my mindset a bit, is that you have to create an environment for success. And I think that's something that you know, you kind of feel like, you know, deep down on the inside, but once you hear it and think about it, you're like, okay, there are a few things that I could change here or there. So I thought that was a real bar right there.
That's facts. Yeah. That was one of the ones.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that was one of the ones for real. Let's see.
Young Brandon, what up, bro? Yo, shout out to Brandon. Yo, fire, bro. When it comes to keyboardists and being able to play, in my top of people I've ever seen in my life,
really,
he's up there, bro.
Whoa.
Like, I want to say number one, but I'm to be respectful for other people in case I'm forgetting. I'm gonna put him in the top 3. But when I say he's cold, bro, he's cold. Cold. Like, cold. You play a chord, like, oh yeah, that's that. Like, off rip, bro. So yeah, shout out to Brandon, man.
Man, yes indeed. Let's see.
How do you know it was No ID if he had no ID?
See, now you smoking the loud pack.
Now he in the Matrix.
Thoughts on Ableton Live 11? We kind of went over that last couple weeks. I ain't gonna go into it, but it's really awesome. Get yourself a copy if you have not already. Shout out to Ableton. They know how to tap in with the right people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm DJ Wiseman said, as a songwriter. So if we go back to his question, how? Hold on, I'm gonna pull that joint up just so I make sure I got it right. All right. What are good ways to showcase for a songwriter? Well, okay. I'm gonna speak on your specific situation because I know a little bit about you, and I do know that you make beats. You're also a producer. So to me, that would be the best way, because you can make the actual beats for your songs and you can release them yourself. So, I mean, just knowing that about you, like that's the no-brainer approach to me.
Right. Yeah. I would just, man, get some hooks, put some stuff together. Because if you're trying to be a songwriter and get out there, I think for me as thinking of a songwriter is the way songwriters get on is collabing with a lot of producers, right? And writing for them, and it increases your chances. I mean, if you make stuff, that's dope too. Because I feel like people who produce and they songwrite, they have an advantage with production because they understand. It's like the space thing. They understand, like, I could put exactly this amount of stuff, and then this is where my vocals gonna go, and it's perfect, right? So, man, I would try to reach out as many producers, send your best stuff. Like, these are the hooks I've done. Keep it, short and simple. Make it easy for people to digest, and and then work with a bunch of different people and just try to be as consistent as possible. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't be out there.
Fire. And shout out to I'm DJ Wiseman. He's pretty dope, man.
Oh,
he's pretty dope. Yeah.
So. Let's see. We got DJ 912. He says, shout out to DJ 912 first of all.
For that, man.
He says, when creating beats and leaving them open, is there a such thing as being too open? And how do you know when it's too much?
Yo, I've never heard that. It's always the argument of cluttering the beat and knowing there's too much going on. Too open? I don't think so.
Because you could have a song, bro, for real. Like you think Shy, If I Ever Fall in Love. It's just vocals. It's probably the most open, you know what I mean, song, and it's a hit song.
Good example.
Or you could have a song that's just piano, you know what I mean? Or so the openness, I think, is more of frequency ranges that you got to cover. Mm-hmm. You want something to cover the bottom end, and then something that's covering like that mid and leaving room for the vocal. As long as I think those are covered, you good. But too open, that's subjective, I think. Too cluttered is super easy. It's super easy.
Yeah, too open because, like, depending on what the songwriter does to it, it's going to be perfect because they have so many places to go and so much space that they could fill up. Like, now it's a party for the songwriter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, good question. Good point. Triza's point was brought to you by CY Jelly. All right. What was his name?
The girl, JoJo CY?
JoJo CY. There we go. JoJo CY.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
All right, hold on. We got more questions. We're never gonna get a sponsor.
Never.
Let's see here. Juice Dacity. All right, let's go with it. See, I make a lot of sample beats. Should I worry about getting them cleared if they get placed? I can't see the rest of the question.
I can't either. Or should I just keep my? And that's all I can see. I can't see.
I will say this, and until someone corrects me for being wrong, not a challenge, but as a producer, if you use samples, I've done a lot of samples. I've got a lot of major placements that contain samples. Most of the stuff I do uses samples. I have never been personally responsible for having to clear a sample. That is on the artist, that is on the label, that is on whoever. Now, with that being said, be cognizant of the fact, and this is not going to be any shock here, that using certain samples or, you know, whatever is going to eat into your publishing and eat into this and eat into that. That's what, if there was anything to worry about, focus on, or playing around, it would be that, not so much the sample clearance. So if you can get your mind around the fact that, all right, you're probably going to lose some publishing on this or whatever the fact, not lose publishing, because either way you're going to gain something, but you might not get as much as you would if you didn't use a sample. Once you're cool with that, sky's the limit. You have nothing to fear. But clearing samples, as a producer, I'll say for me, I've never been personally responsible for clearing a sample ever.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, man. I wouldn't worry about it, man. It's like, make the music, find a home for it, and then when that problem gets there,
it's a good problem to have because you got a joint.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be stressed like, oh man, I'm never gonna, unless you sampling like Tracy Chapman. Then it's like, all right, you might want to not do that.
Got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's certain people just probably avoid those, but overall, do your thing, man. Make the music.
Beats original to avoid issues. Yeah, so we still answered it right. Thanks, Prentice.
Yeah,
thanks. Juice Dassy, good question too.
Says, okay, let's see. Like, hold on. I seen a question about, thoughts on releasing songs with anonymous artists. Like, we get singers to sing our songs we write, but we don't want to be credited. Why would you? I just don't understand. Why would you not want to be credited?
No, I don't quite get that.
I don't know. Why not? Why not be credited if you wrote it?
Yeah,
I don't think ghost producing is not, and ghost writing is not really a thing anymore. I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's not like how it was back in the day. Like,
no, not like back in my day.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm sure. Me, have you ever ghost produced something for somebody?
Yeah,
they.
Bro, I can name a list of things that I
Same
did
here.
ghost production on, and yeah, they go back. Some of them with some jammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I did a lot of records where it's like people don't know I did it, but it was early, early in the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like not that I ain't know better. I knew what I was doing, but I wanted the money. You know what I mean at
Yeah.
that time. But now knowing
Facts.
what I know, it's like, man, no, I'm not doing that.
No. Those days are over.
Yeah,
Those days are super over. No credit, is no bag. That's not necessarily true.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's some type of bag involved, but this day and age, I'm not going for that bag. I'm
Yeah,
going for the longevity bag.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, everything in especially in the placement business is based off what you've done and what you've done recently, right?
Yeah.
And it's like if you the more that you add those credits up and stuff that you worked on, the more your respect grows, right? So
Yes.
if you're doing everything anonymous, it's like, you know,
Facts. Somebody says Oracle, did you do Thriller? Not if you mention it.
damn, the jig is
No,
up.
I've done some joints. I've done some bad. I've done some bad boy joints for one of the hitmen back when I was like probably like 18. No, 18, 19, something like that. I did a couple joints. And that's just a little bit. I've done some joints though.
Funky Pimp says, if that artist is planning to remain anonymous, maybe that's not the artist you need. Songwriters is different though. I agree. I feel like anonymous artist is almost like I feel like I'm about to mess up the word, but you know what I mean. Like, is it an antonym? Is what I'm thinking about.
Oxymoron.
That's what I'm thinking about. I knew I was about to mess it up. I knew
I
it when I
got you,
was
bro.
about to say it. I was like, I'm saying the wrong word, but it's an oxymoron because artists. I feel like the biggest thing with artists is that people are in love with their character. It's almost like wrestling. Like we like The Rock because he was a character, right?
Right.
You like the image that he portrayed. You like his catchphrases, the image, like where he wore all of that stuff made you like The Rock. Same thing goes with artists. Women like Nicki Minaj because they like her hair, they like her body, they like her rapping. It's the whole thing, right? So you being anonymous, I mean, okay, if you wear a mask, that makes sense. Like Marshmallow, right? Doesn't talk, wears a mask, but he's a character. He's super out there, bro. He's super doing all these TikToks with people. He's like overly a character to make up for him not showing himself, and it's like a mystery. Like Reed Stefan, you probably seen his tutorials online. He's like the puppet. He was like an EDM DJ before all of this. You know what I'm saying?
What
And
about her?
I mean, she out here now.
Yeah, now, yeah.
She out here. At the beginning, it was like a mystery thing, but it's still people liked her. You know what I mean? They say unless you're going for a Daft Punk MF Doom type thing.
Or the
Again,
Gorillas. Think about the Gorillas.
But they where they don't show themselves, they overcompensate in other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Gorillas will go crazy with their videos. You know what I mean? It's always a balance of if you're taking away something, you have to overcompensate on the other thing. And I feel like most people don't get that. They think like, oh, I could just be in the dark and be an artist and then it's gonna work. And it's like, no, you have to like
you got to OD somewhere.
Yeah, being an artist is being somewhat in the front. You know what I mean? It's somewhat being out there. You know what I mean? So,
facts. Yo, name me one of the members of the Blue Man Group.
Cobalt.
Nice. Cobalt, Royal, Navy out there.
Light.
Oh, don't forget about Baby.
Yeah, Light. That's my dog.
My homie Carolina. Yeah. On the drums.
He got big headed after Jay-Z shouted it out.
Facts. Let's see. Zulu Cha said facts. Gorillas visuals are their brand. That is a fact. However, I know I'm not the first person that heard the Gorillas when they first came out. I was like, that's Dell, the funky Homo sapien from Hieroglyphics back in the day. Like I immediately was like, that's Dell. I think that's like the most unmistakable voice ever. So,
I was
in the high road back in the day, so I know Dell, Souls of Mischief, all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, that's definitely Dell right there. Somebody said Blue Man #1.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, my favorite. Blue Man #1. Let's see. Speaking of which, Zulu Child says, as someone who sings and produces late at night, how would you suggest I go about? And it cut me off again.
It says being mindful of neighbors, I believe.
The most obvious answer is one of my least favorite things: headphones.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're singing though,
I mean, as someone who DJs and got hella speakers in my house, it's really the bass.
Right, but think about what he's saying though. Like that's thinking from a producer standpoint. So the sound that's playing, you can contain that in headphones. But when you're singing,
but I don't know. I mean, to be honest, bro, I would ask my neighbor because my neighbor beside me, right? He's hella cool, bro. Like, so I talk to him all the time. We chop it up, and I'm like, hey, bro, like I turn my speakers up. Can you hear it? He's like, bro, I can't tell. Like, I don't know anything about it, right? So he never knows that I be blasting music, dog, and he doesn't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so but I got the bass cut down a little bit. So, and he's literally, I'm in a townhouse, so he's like literally beside me. You know what I'm saying? So I would think, man, sometimes you might assume that people could hear, but you know what I mean? Like you don't know. So I would ask your neighbor, to be honest, or get them to do it like a little test. Like, hey, I just want to make sure I'm not disturbing you. Like, can I turn my joint up? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And see if it's too loud, let me know. I would do it that way because I don't think you ever gonna know.
That's true, unless you've gotten complaints before and the police told you what your neighbor's doing. But I would ask the neighbor. Remember, I was in that condo.
Oh yeah,
man, I used to killing in that condo. But my neighbor upstairs, my neighbors was so cool upstairs when there were people upstairs that they were like, nah, I don't even hear you. And then when I do, it sounds really good. I'm like, yeah, it says you don't hear me going through kicks and snares. But yeah, I would check in with the neighbor for sure.
Yeah, that's facts. He said I could hear her vacuum, so I know she can hear me. Yeah. Okay. It's crazy though, because I can hear my neighbor's kids, and I'm sure he can hear my daughter running around. But when it comes to the music, I can't hear it. I don't understand it. Yeah. But I think it's like positioning, what floor you're on at the time, and all that stuff, and you know. But yeah, if that's the case, then
Steve E397 said, "Put a duvet over your head."
But hey, you better make every song like the Yin Yang Twins. How you doing?
It's the quiet songs. I only make quiet songs at night. Yeah,
and I don't know about like where you're at, but it's like a time frame too. The noise complaints only can happen really between certain times.
Before 10 o'clock, I believe, in most places.
Yeah, like when I was in LA, I remember it's like, we would have to like cook up before 10, you know what I mean? Because it's like after that cutoff time, people could like complain about it. But before that, man, you do your thing. As long as you ain't OD disrespectful.
Facts. Juice Ashley said, I don't care when I'm in my zone. Everybody finna hear this fire. All right, motherfucking what's that song I was talking about last week that we on the playlist? Till the cops come knocking.
All right. Yeah. So that security deposit disappear, and you be like, oh shit.
Damn, look at that. Look at that. Hope you made some bread with that song because your security deposit is gone.
Let's see. Okay, these two questions that are very similar. So DJ Don 12 says, do you use acoustic panels to get rid of the echo in the room or studio phone? And then Boy Wonder says, do you know if it's any way to soundproof an apartment room without causing a bunch of damage?
Listen, I'm gonna give some quick answers for what I've done. I am by no means the acoustician. That's more of a realistic thing. I don't know if realistic is in here. But what's the first part of that question?
Do you use acoustic panels? Yeah, to get rid of echo in a room or studio phone.
Yeah, I've used acoustic panels a lot. I use bass traps in here. Another thing is if you don't have any carpeting, try to put a heavy rug or something down. Anything with a soft porous surface is going to kind of absorb sound, like couches, stuff like that. Try to avoid hanging things on the wall with like hard reflective surfaces. And at minimum, man, get yourself some bass traps. But yeah, get some foam. You don't have to completely cover the walls, but just kind of like spot treat it, and you can get away with it. And as far as hanging up stuff in apartments without creating a whole bunch of damage, when I did foam, like I had a lot of foam on the wall at the condo that we were just talking about. Push pins, thumbtacks, not thumbtack, but yeah, push pins. That was my joint, because I mean it's foam, it's light, it's going to stay up. Push pins go right into the wall. Little to no damage at all.
And Young Realistic says we have a tutorial dropping on Monday on building your own bass traps. Hey, so go hit up soundoracle.net, man. Get that tutorial.
Come on, you already know.
And Realistic don't know, because Realistic is around. I feel like Realistic's a acoustic. What's the word you say? Acoustician.
Acoustician.
I
Yes,
feel like
acoustician.
Amand is like the final boss of the acousticians. When
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like when you play Mortal Kombat, you got to fight the dude with the forearms. What's his name? Goro.
yeah. That's
And
a that's a
yeah,
mon
that's Amand. And
Armando.
yeah. Amando wins. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they know some stuff.
Yeah, that's a fact. I don't even pretend to even flex my muscle in that realm when it comes to Realistic and Amon. Like those are the guys that are gonna know that type of stuff.
I ain't gonna front. I probably need to put something up. But when I redid my room and redecorated,
Mm-hmm.
I took all of it down, and because it didn't really match, it was the wrong color, and it just was throwing off the feng shui.
Listen, I didn't think about this until this question came up. I have almost no foam. I have a little bit of foam in here, but like I said, I got mostly like bass traps, and I got some foam over my desk. And the reason why I don't have a lot of foam up, two reasons. Number one, I don't mix in here. I'm just here to rock out. And reason number two is the guy that's in here right now, Young Realistic. Since Realistic got on the team, Realistic mixes everything. If I give a speech longer than 2 minutes, Realistic is going to mix it. And because of that, my rooms have been less treated. I'm definitely throwing caution to the wind. Now that I have a super dope engineer, super dope person on the team. So shout out to you, brother. And my walls will forever look new because of you.
That's real.
Yes, sir.
Like somebody talking about beating up the neighbors. Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
No, come on, man. Come on. We don't want to see you on First 48.
The acoustic panels that led to damage. Let's see.
Man, facts. Oh, hold on. We got more questions. I'm excited with the amount of questions that we have, man. I want to make sure that we answer as many as possible because I want to encourage people to ask way more questions. So this is awesome. Which one is better for publishing and composer / writing? I'm assuming it's going to be ASCAP or BMI. I can't even see the end of it, but
yeah, it says ASCAP, BMI, or both. Peace and blessings.
Same thing. Both P.R.Os, performing rights organizations. There may be certain caveats and differences, but to me, from what I know, they're negligible when it comes to that. So I mean, they're pretty much both the same thing. So I would look them up, but I wouldn't say don't use one over the other. What about you, Ian?
I mean, the reason why I went with ASCAP over BMI is because Pharrell was on ASCAP, so I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then two, I think their payouts at the time was different. I think BMI was every 6 months. Yeah, I think at that time BMI was every 6 months, and then ASCAP was every 3 months at that time. But now I think it's about what. They both have really good like offices and like events and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I rock with ASCAP because I know people that actually work there. So that's really my point for staying with them. But like BMI, they have like dope events. I've actually DJed a couple BMI events. Like, so they have like really cool events, good like people that'll help you on the phone. So it's really a preference thing. It's like saying, do you want a Canon camera or a Nikon? They damn near the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, do you like the button on this side or this side? Right. That's really it.
Facts. I went with BMI because it was free at the time. I don't even know if ASCAP was, but I had a placement looming, like a definite placement. And I remember the placement was with somebody on Rough Riders. I drove from Baltimore to Yonkers, right, to the studio, the Powerhouse. And I remember it was a girl working at the front desk. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna probably be here for a couple of days, but I need to sign up with a P.R.O. I don't know which one I should use. She's like, well, BMI is free right now. And she gave me the address to BMI in Manhattan. And I just drove to the BMI office in Manhattan and signed up. And that's why I've been with BMI. And that was a long time ago. So it wasn't like I weighed the options. It was just a girl working at a front desk that gave me one address versus the other. And that's where I went. And I've been with them ever since.
G3D Music says, would you use Sound Exchange in conjunction with your P.R.O? And so, yeah, definitely. Because Sound Exchange handles, okay, I'm not the greatest with all this stuff. I should know more about this publishing and like royalty stuff, but I have a basic understanding. And my understanding is ASCAP BMI, they handle certain radio stuff, they handle certain performances, right? And then Sound Exchange is more about online stuff. So I'm guessing like Sirius satellite radio, certain stuff like that, these online stations and stuff like that. Sound Exchange handles a lot of those. So you want to have both of those taken care of because ASCAP might not be catching some of the stuff that Sound Exchange would catch, and then vice versa.
Facts. How good are plaques? Good for soundproofing? Terrible for soundproofing. Great for the
a lot of rattle
ego though. Yeah. Great for the ego. Yep.
Bet. Oh, see, Sound Exchange handles sync licensing. I feel like, bro, I ain't gonna front. I feel like, yeah, I don't want to lie. I feel like I feel like he's right, but I feel like it's other stuff that they handle. I just want to make sure
Yep. All right, cool. What else we got?
He said that's crazy. The Triza's ASCAP and Sound as BMI really helps my decision process.
Hey, no problem, man. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. If you still got hair, we'll help you pull it out. Don't even worry about it.
And they're both in Atlanta, and they're both hella cool, bro.
That's a fact. And guess what? You get paid from both.
Yeah.
Let's see. Slim Trill had a question. What would you say be the ranges of too open or too cluttered? Okay. Oh, this is going back to the other question. In your experience. Well, too cluttered. Just too much. I don't know. It's very subjective, but you kind of feel it. You feel when there's too much going on. Now, too open, I think we both agree to there's no such thing as too open.
I feel like a lot of leads is like the downfall. When people are doing all these like runs and stuff, like that's when you get, because you got to think if you're putting all these runs and different stuff over top of your beat, you're cutting out ways that the songwriter could move in their melody, right? Because you're kind of forcing them in a certain way. So, I mean, that's why, like, I'm telling you, Drake records be going crazy because it's chords and drums.
That's it.
And that's it, bro. So it's like, it's so much focus on what he's doing melody wise that it like draws you in. It's
not a whole bunch happening over 1K as well.
Everything's filtered out. So it's all about Drake, and then the pads and all this stuff is just like the foundation to keep it, you know what I mean? Like keep you interested and like a little ear candy. That's why that's his formula, bro. It's like everything filtered out, really no melodies. And if they are, it's like accent stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's all about the songwriter, you know?
Fire. Good point. Let's see what else.
Zulu Child said Clips grinding is barren as fuck and doesn't really feel empty at all. Bro, one of the greatest beats of all time. And it's the most empty.
That's a fact. Super empty. Yeah, I want to do a beat where it's just like an 808 on the one every 2 bars and just have somebody do a song to it. Probably be a fire song.
Like, how are they keeping time? It's like you got to keep the metronome while he recording.
That's a fact. One thing that will make a beat too cluttered, too, that I used to do back in the day was too much percussion.
Oh yeah.
I like to use percussion to make a bounce. I realized that very, very, very early on in my beat making career, but it was always too cluttered. And what I learned was I just turn it down. The more percussion I add, the more I just turn it way down until it's almost like ambience. You know, it's very low, but it's so rhythmic. It'll still give me whatever bounce because there'll be 1, 2, or 3 percussion elements, and they'll be creating like rhythms and counter rhythms that will give you a general flow and tells the artist where to go, but it's not so intrusive that it gets in the artist's way.
Right.
So yeah, that's my thing. If you're like me, you like to use a lot of percussion to create a bounce, just do so sparingly and then turn it way, way down.
That's why, like, when people was talking about Mustard, like, it's like that beam and it's like him using the 3 keys. I'm like, they just don't get it because that's hard to do, bro.
Yes.
It's easy to make a cluttered beat. It's hard to make a beat that's like, it's a certain confidence that comes with, I'm going to use 2 or 3 sounds and it's going to be open, right? And I'm going to make it a hit. It's a confidence that comes with that that's hard to understand until you start. To me, I didn't understand it until I started working with songwriters and like people actually like writing to my music. And then I started getting it. You know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, because I feel like when you don't have that person singing on it or rapping on it, you feel like something's missing. You keep trying to like, all right, let me add one more thing, and it's like always like, all right, something's not there, and you're just not equating for the vocals in there.
Stop being so selfish, man.
Yeah,
gotta leave room for other people. It's not a one man or one woman production.
Big facts.
So this
question, what up, bro?
This question says, will not knowing mixing and mastering damage my career as a producer? No, it will not. However, that's not to say that having bad mixes won't damage your career as a producer. Because, for instance, you're going to submit, God willing, I don't know where you're at in your career, but you're going to submit to somebody one day. You're going to be nervous to submit to this person. That's how big that person is going to be. And the last thing you want to keep you from getting in there or remaining an outsider is a badass mix. Because I will say a great beat with a horrible mix will get turned off. It'll get turned off. It'll get turned off fast. Not as fast as a bad beat with a great mix, but it'll still get turned off fast. So saying all that to say, you don't necessarily have to know mixing and mastering yourself, because now you're tasked with becoming an expert in another field. And you got to take that on mentally, whether you really want to go that route. But if not, at least know where to get your stuff mixed and mastered. Listen, soundoracle.net, the art of beat mixing. Pick up the course. That is like to me, like that's the cheat code. If your mixes aren't great, you don't have a ton of money to keep paying for mixes, and you don't want to like go to school to become an engineer. That's the reason why we developed that course, because it literally takes you from, like, if you had the mindset of someone who knew nothing about how to mix your beats, it takes you from the inception of, like, as soon as the beat's over up until that point where you can submit it with confidence to that very person that you want to submit it to. So check out the course. You could always check out YouTube and all that, but that becomes kind of cumbersome. And if all else fails, shell out a couple of bucks, get at least your top 10 joints mixed properly.
That's facts. But yeah, telling you don't want to be that guy that play a beat after somebody else and they joint is like OD knocking. Then you play yours, your joint is quiet, and then the kick is all distorted or the bass is off. Then you're gonna be like, bruh. Yeah. It's like a producer death sentence. Like, as soon as that happens, they're not choosing your stuff. Because they were like, bro, why the last person joint sound so good and your joint sound like that? So your joint automatically gets lowered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a fact. I didn't even really consider that, but yeah, it's one thing to play a beat that's not really mixed on your own. But now when you're playing beats with other people, and that one person go over for you, and that shit is smacking, ooh, and yours is not smacking, you probably got a lifetime beef with that person now.
Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah, they done edged you out, bro. But that's a really good question though.
Facts. Flight School said, did uploading the audio podcast become cumbersome, or was it a strategic move to go video only? No, we still on all the platforms, my dog.
Yes, sir. We do audio, we do video, we even get a Braille joint jumping off. You know what I'm saying? We get a Morse code joint jumping off, all that.
We got the sign language interpreter, the ones that do the cool dances while they do it. We got all that.
Facts. You stupid for that. I was reading, but what you said sunk in a little late.
It just made me think of that Waka Flocka video and the sign language lady. She was like going crazy. I was like, oh, that's lit. That's gonna be a fun job.
Somebody said drop it like it's hot. Another beat with a lot of space in it.
Bro, them be the best ones, bro.
Yes, sir. Just export a metronome. Yeah, that's how you keep that time. I can tell I'm way back in the chat. Let me speed it up.
Let's see. Quintindo Power, shout out to my dog Quintindo. He says, how do you utilize swing in a beat?
For bounce, same way as percussion. Like, okay, there's certain types of swing for certain situations. And if you're not really a student of different types of swing, I would encourage you to study it. So we released the kit Digital Wax last week. And I did a quick like loop for the promo, and people have been hitting me about it. Like, yo, the timing on the hi-hats, that's dope timing. And that is septuplet swing. You know what I mean? So, but that's just one type of swing. And coming from an MPC, I studied different, just different types of swing. And septuplet swing, which is Dilla would use septuplet swing a lot. And it's where you take a certain amount of notes, like 16th notes, and you force them into a four note grid. Like, for instance, I think it's I forgot how to do it. 6 or 7 notes that you force into a 4-note grid, and then you just take out not the first one, but the following 3. Oh, thank you. The following 3, and then a couple 2s. So basically, you get a 1/8 pattern, but it's going to have a certain swing to it, and that's because you just forced a whole bunch of 16th notes into a small grid. But anyway, that is the science behind just the septuplet swing by itself, and I've studied that. And there are other types of swings. So what you can see, like, once you get into the science of studying certain swings, you'll know how to apply them, and they'll just make more sense. And you don't always have to go with a grid swing. Just use a free form nudge, because one thing about, like, let's say, keeping in the spirit of Dilla, a lot of people are like, well, he didn't quantize a lot of times, which may have been true sometimes, but for the most part, some of his stuff was actually ultra quantized, but it was quantized and swung, or quantized and shifted, meaning that it's off the grid, but the timing between the notes is quantized.
Exact, right?
Yeah, it's very exact, but it's just shifted to different points. So it's really the use of over quantization and creativity at the same time that gave certain joints that he did that swing. So, maybe I'll talk about this a little bit more at length, because as you could tell, it's something that you could really really dive into, man. But
because I'm like a drawer, so y'all know I'm like, keyboard and mouse shawty. But like a lot of times I highlight, like, say, the snares. Sometimes it just gives you, what's a good way I could say the vibe that it gives you? It just gives you, it's so on the beat, it's so rigid. It gives you like, it makes you want to do the Carlton.
It's
like
stiff, stiff.
It's like that. I'll just highlight that joint, and then on Fruity Loops, I believe it's the Apple joint, but Ableton has the same thing. It's like where you could just do like the fine shift.
Hold down shift and then drag, and it won't walk to the grid. Yeah.
And I just nudge it over to the right a little bit. And it throws it off, but it's a better pocket. I mean, to me, that's like a lot of how I do swing. I don't go overly crazy with swing, but a lot of times it's just me manually like nudging the stuff. Because sometimes, I mean, with those like pre-done quantizers, that I can't, it's not exactly what I want. So it's like, it's easier for me just to draw it, just move it over to there and get the swing that I want, rather than trying to depend on those and keep adjusting them.
I made a nudge tool for Ableton. I should have probably put it on my stories prior to the show. I should really do a quick reel, Instagram reel on how to create it, because it'll, even though I'm doing it in Ableton, it'll work in any DAW. And what it is something that'll nudge your sound forward or backward by X amount of milliseconds. Like, it nudges the audio. It doesn't actually, it nudges what you hear. It doesn't actually physically move the audio or the MIDI per se, but it just nudges how you hear it. But the dope thing about it is it works on audio and it works on MIDI. So if I should make a reel to share that, if you would like to see that, spam some hearts, and then I'll reluctantly do that.
DJ 912 says, who has the best bounce producer wise swing? I feel like we're gonna say the same person.
Yeah, it's gonna be Tim. But it's gonna be Tim and Dilla.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go.
Dilla first, and then Tim. It's to me, those are the two, and to me they're two different worlds, equally great in two different worlds.
Yeah, so. that was my 1 and 2. We just had different order at first. Let's see.
Lots of hearts. Okay, I get it. I will reluctantly make that real. Y'all know I hate recording video. But I will do it. If y'all want it, I will do it.
Let's see. Can you guys say what the schedule is? I always miss the first part of the stream on here. I have set for notifications when you go live, but it doesn't work. Don't you got a young what you call it?
Listen, everybody that is listening, if you would like to receive a text message for when we go live, just text B dope, all one word, text B dope to 81493. It's in my story if you missed it, but that again, text B dope, all one word, B dope to 81493. And to answer your question, we go live. Well, we attempt to go live at 4 p.m. sharp every Friday, East Coast time.
Facts.
Yes, indeed.
Facts. Let's see. Dilla Tim Rodney Jerkin has a dope swing too, Loki. No, that's facts.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I have Rodney Jerkins. He put out it's like a instrumental album called Versatility.
I love that joint,
bro. I found it. I found I found it the other day. I was like, yo,
can I 100% transparency, man? I sampled so many drums off that joint back in the day. What was that, like 2005 or something?
Right, it was early. It was, yeah, and you had to join like a membership to get that joint.
Yep,
bruh. And he had some open drums on there, bruh.
A lot of dope open drums.
We was like them old you remember HHS kits?
Oh my god, not the Black Eyed Peas and the Scott Storch kit and the high-tech kit.
They had all kinds of synths over top of the snares and stuff.
Man, I'm like, is that a whole verse behind that snare?
It'd be like Timbaland's snare, and it had a sexy back little in the back. I'm like, man, if y'all get this out of here.
Facts. Oh man. But yeah, basically to repeat that schedule, Friday, 4 p.m. EST. Yeah, every Friday.
Teddy Riley. I'm not mad at Teddy. It's not. That's not a wrong answer either.
It was a New Jack swing.
Yeah,
it had swing in the name. Yeah, hey, that's how you know a technician made it. Swing in the name.
Oh yeah, he was about it.
Yeah. Okay, we got new questions. Yo, listen. Shout out to y'all because it was a time in this podcast. I'll say, 4.5 years where people wouldn't post questions or ask too many questions, but now we got a slew of questions. All right, let's see. Young Awareness. Yes, sir. What's up, bro? Have you thought of sampling Galt McDermott? Man, I have gone through.
I'm gonna let you handle this real quick.
Okay, got you. Yes, yeah, no problem. I have gone through, I went through a phase of sampling Galt McDermott and the likes of Galt McDermott. That was probably 2002, between 2002, 2004 or 5. I was heavy into not just Galt McDermott, but just people like that. Like a lot of stuff like the Hair soundtrack. And for those that don't know who Galt McDermott was, he was a musician, producer. The most noticeable Galt McDermott sample I could think of was the Woo-Ha sample for Busta Rhymes. That's a Galt McDermott sample from a joint I think called Space or something like that. While we're on it, talking about Busta samples, the best Busta Rhymes sample that everybody should just go check out, to me, because it was just a great find, was Sweet Green Fields by Seals and Croft. Yeah, after the show, just go ahead, look up I think it's Sweet Green Fields, yeah, by Seals and Croft, and you'll know what it is off the rip, but it's just great to listen to. All right, let's see what else we got. Lady Lyric, let's see what you're talking about. All right. When with an artist, do you produce vocals for the sake of music, or feel it's the damn it keeps cutting me off. I don't know what the second half of your question was. I gotta wait for Young Triza to come back because it don't cut him off. Cool. Okay. So while Triza is gone, I feel like I gotta speak on something. A lot of people may hit me up asking me, should they move to Atlanta or should they move to LA? And I know we've addressed this before, but I feel like there's some new people in here that might need to hear this. You should not move anywhere, in my opinion, until you feel like you have legitimately maxed out where you are currently. And I don't mean that you have worked with every artist in your neighborhood and now you don't have any more artists to work with, because no matter where you are, you have the internet. So the main thing is do what you can with what you have right now. And once you can honestly say to yourself, I've maxed this out, I need to move on, then I would consider moving to another city, because people look at moving to another city kind of like a savior for you not being as diligent as you are where you are. So you moving to another city is not going to make you more diligent. It's not going to make you more disciplined. It's just going to make you more hopeful. But what you have in hope, if that's the same amount that you lack in discipline, no matter where you move, it's not really going to save you. So I just felt like somebody needed to hear that.
What he said.
I'll have that. So, bruh, okay, this question got cut off. So can you see the end of this? The last word I got is feel it's the
Phil, it's the producer's responsibility.
All right. Okay. All right. I said no. When with an artist, do you produce vocals for the sake of music, or feel it's the producer's responsibility? It's everybody's responsibility. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, man. If you're in the room,
takes a village.
There you go. Well, look at you. Go, Hillary.
Hey,
but yeah. So
DJ 912 brings up a question. Okay, I'll just make sure we're done because I know I missed part of that question. He says, have y'all figured out how to accept crypto yet? I think I found a site. So I hit Oracle about this because oh man, I'm not on my front. I was low-key a little pissed because
so sad.
The story is I got a homie, right? One of my best friends I grew up with. He's a UI UX designer, right? So he makes the interfaces for stuff. And like, so if you go to a website, he's the one that designs the app and all this stuff, right? So that's how I learned a lot about designing and just picking up stuff from him, right? And he's been doing these things called NFTs, which are digital paintings that's backed by blockchain, right? So I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna do a sample pack backed by the blockchain. So I've been working on this for like 2 weeks trying to figure it out. And then Illmind and Capsun on the same day dropped theirs. Same idea. And I was like, damn them. You know what I mean?
Triza was sad.
I was sad because I thought I was going to be the first one. I thought it was like, oh man, this is creative. Nobody's thinking about this. You ever had one of them ideas like you think you came up with something and it's like nobody else thought about this, and then all of a sudden you start seeing it. It was one of them moments.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, man. I think it's a cool idea. I just don't know how the public is gonna. I don't know how it's gonna apply to the public.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a while.
I figured it out though. I know how to do it. It's just getting it set up, and I just don't know if people are gonna be. I think once the novelty wears off, I don't know how crazy, you know what I mean, it's gonna go.
Yes,
but it's
novelty
a cool idea though.
Word.
Yeah, but I think in the future it's going to be one of those things that it's going to be there. Like that, this is something we're going to see more of. So I think it's smart that they did it.
Yeah, I mean it's good to innovate. I will say this though, I'm trying to figure out a cool way to accept Cash App before all that, because Cash App, honestly, imagine if you could accept Cash App on your Shopify page. I think people will go ham over that.
I wonder, could you?
Because Cash App is used by almost everyone.
And I think it's what, Stripe? It's the same company. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either Stripe or it's one of those owns Cash App.
So that's what I want to look into. Is accepting Cash App. Yeah, I think shit would jump if people were like, yo, I can pay for this with Cash App. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look into that. It might be a way to finesse that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what else we got. Bam. Prentice, what up, bro?
Young Prentice, what up?
Yep. Could you explain the way in which you use reverb and delay to make a beat more? Sure, this is where you pick up.
Oh, sorry. Could you explain in a way to use reverb and delay to make a beat more full? I don't know why yours doesn't show as much as mine.
I don't either. It's kind of trash the way it's doing that. But honestly, reverb and delay just take up more space. It's mostly ambient space, which is cool because it's not as like in your face as it is. But now you talk about a way to, like, if you got a beat that's really open and you kind of just want to fill in some spaces, delay and reverb are great are great for that. Yeah, so I mean, just use them low to taste, and they just felt like they create an atmosphere. That's the thing too. And your beats should create a mood. I used to like going through these old joints on the 2000s, what I've been going through. I realized like back in the day, and kind of now, I will create beats that have a certain emotion to it. And I always felt like I was successful if I can make the person listening to it feel the same way I felt when I was making it.
Yeah, that's fire.
Because that's a transfer of energy without actually meeting the person. And a lot of the ways to do that, if you depending on the mood you were going for, a lot of the ways I would do that was through reverb and delay. So it's just funny you brought that up.
And like I feel like it helps with like the placement of music. I think when I don't know if I'm on the only person, but you know how you want something to sit further in the back.
Yes.
To me, this like reverb helps with get it back here. You know what I mean?
It does. And shout out to the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like in my mind, because sometimes I think of music and it's like the bass is down here. I want stuff over here, and then it's like a shallow depth kind of thing. Yeah.
Shout out to the GOAT Jimmy Douglas. We were talking yesterday, and that's one of the things that he brought up is that people often, go really into detail about panning, left and right, but people rarely look at, and not only do people rarely look at, people rarely make anything to address the depth of sound forward and backwards. And my only answer I had to that was like reverb.
Right.
Yeah, reverb will do that. But I do find it weird that a lot more companies don't make plugins or anything to address like depth. Back in the day, there was one where you could arrange certain stuff, like it had like a concert hall and you could kind of arrange certain things. I forgot what that was called. But I just wonder why more companies don't focus on
that is a good point.
Yeah, hey, somebody makes a plugin that does that now. And people gonna be interested in it.
Oracle said he just need 15%, and I just need 5 as manager fee.
At least.
You see how I just put myself in there?
I did. I liked it. I respected the move. That's why you get your percentage. I respected it.
That's what happens in the music business. Like, yeah, I made the placement. I need 7%.
Yeah,
I made the play.
Yeah, give it to him.
Oh man, you got the air horns, bro. We need some air horns, man.
Who we got?
We got young Smitty in the building.
Come on, man. Smitty is in here. Listen, if you don't know who Smitty is, first of all, shame on you. Shame on you for real. Secondly, man, go follow my boy. Do your research. Smitty, oh my God. The list of placements is just ridiculous, man. Listen, go do your research on young Smitty, man. Not only is he a great producer, he's a great guy. He's been on the podcast before. Go check the Smitty episode, man. Just intelligent dude. Gave me one of the best. Gave me some of the best advice I've ever had in person. I'll be honest with you, man. So just follow young Smitty, man. If you rock with us and you like how we give it up, if you think that we're intelligent a little bit, then you'll really rock with Smitty because he's really intelligent. Oh, yeah. Not like us. We just good, kind of intelligent.
He's good people though. He's super good people.
Nah, for sure. Shout out to Smitty, man.
Let's see. Crypto is not finite. Finite. That's Fiat.
Fiat. I drove one of those before.
Yeah, those cool cars, the little Gucci ones.
Fiat.
Yeah, but blockchain technology provides a solution for DeFi and adds security by design. And then DeFi. And then crypto is just another form of currency control. Currency will go away when the people decide society is grander than just one person's value.
Okay.
I'm not. See, I believe I'm a person. I mean, side note, I'm invested in crypto, so I believe in it. I think it's going to be big. As far as sample packs, my only question, and part of the reason it probably took me so long to jump into doing those NFT packs is with sample packs, most of the time, it's not the highest bidder, right? It's more about volume, right? It's like how many people you could get to buy this, right? If I know me and my friends are just getting into crypto and people aren't using crypto as like currency like that, it's either you buy in a whole, people aren't exchanging it like that yet, then I feel like it's a certain novelty. You know what I'm saying? That's going to come with it where it's like, it's only going to be a certain group of people who invest in this because it's the new trending thing or they believe in it, but it hasn't caught up to where it's going to be a lot of people jumping in on it. It's one of those things that's more for like, I don't want to say more for like the press, but it's a lot about, it's more of a look than it is
novelty was a great word.
Yeah, it's more, that's what do I look at it from selling it point of view, because it's still not like one of those things. When we all over here in 2025 and we all spending Dogecoin, then, you know, I mean, it's going to be one of the things. But somebody had to do it first. So I'm glad to see, you know, people are innovative. They pushing boundaries. So, you know, that's dope that way. I'm just mad that it wasn't me first. Damn them.
That's all right, man. If you can't be first, just be better.
Yeah, that's facts.
Man, we got a good question here. You guys have any tips for making something without samples feel the same, but not necessarily sound sampled? Okay. I got that. That's gonna be all in processing, man. That's gonna be a processing thing, and it's gonna be really broad because it can range from you know, specialty plugins. Of course, you can use, like for instance, everybody knows RC20 and all that type of stuff. You know, you add some pitch variance and some static and all that stuff, but really EQing is gonna go a long way. EQing, limiting your dynamic range. Also, what a lot of people don't realize is making something more mono, back to this mono thing, taking away the stereo width of a certain sound or even a whole track can sometimes make it feel a little more vintage than it is. Because if you look back at older recordings, depending on the years it was, especially like let's say older samplers or just some older equipment, the stereo field wasn't as wide until they hit the days of where they would just OD with the stereo field when stereo was new, when like something would be 100% to the right and something else would be 100% to the left. But prior to that, and if you go back to old samplers, like take EPS, which was mono, then they came out with the EPS 16 or something like that, even those had a slimmer stereo field. So, you know, pitch variance, EQing, limiting dynamic range, limiting the stereo field. Those are just like a few tips on how to make something sound sampled that doesn't have a sample.
Facts.
Few of many tips.
Oh, see, Dogecoin is a troll coin? No, to the moon, man. Come on, to the moon. Diamond hands. To the moon. Triza's not giving financial advice. Gotta throw that disclaimer.
Yes, sir.
Bro, my legs is on fire, dog. Why did I try to ride the bike for 27 miles, dog? I'm over here hurting, bro.
Dog, my man is squirming. Let's see. Prentice said, Oracle Son. I was just talking to the legend Jimmy Douglas. Yes, indeed, man. Listen, I had to stunt or not. That's a great guy, bro. Oh, yeah. Jimmy got them stories, man. Some people got stories and some people got stories. Like, oh, when I was mixing Bob Marley Stir It Up, Stevie Wonder had said to me, like, what the like, those are Jimmy's stories, bro.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. So it's certain people, like whenever I mention them, I have to put the legend in front of it, because man, and just I don't know, just the opportunity to get that type of game and just to hear those types of stories from certain people, man, I am forever grateful. And even though somebody like that would be like, man, nothing, whatever, not nothing, man. I'm gonna hit you with the whole bouquet. Wow, you deserve these flowers. You understand?
I feel like once you when you start leveling up, that you need different like people to kind of influence you. Like nothing's wrong with Gary Vee, right? I think Gary Vee is great, but it came a point where it's like I had to stop listening to Gary Vee because his message wasn't for really where I was at. Gary Vee is like, all right, I'm trying to figure my life out, get up and start, and that's that's the Gary Vee like target audience, right? But then it's like, all right, once you start being somewhat successful, who do I go to now, right? And then I had to find somebody else. And I feel like when you talk to those legends like that, that's kind of what it's like. It's like, all right, I'm getting a different perspective from somebody who's did it. They out here, you know what I mean? They living their life and they turned up, but it's still, they still out here just being cool, humble and stuff like that. So I feel like that's where it's like, it's cool that you getting to talk to these people and being around them get a different perspective, man.
And getting real advice. Because it's one thing to be able to talk to great people, and it's one thing to be able to talk to great people that talk openly.
Yeah,
and get deep. And those are some people that really get deep. And no matter what you're talking about, it ends up going back to stuff like basic human nature and the reason why you exist, and like just real deep like that. And you just can't buy that type of motivation and that type of insight, man. So I'm very grateful to be able to talk to certain people like that.
Zulu said Gary Vee is for people who are bullshitting and they don't know they're bullshitting.
hey, listen, Gary Vee got me motivated in the beginning though.
Man.
Starting this shit off?
Yeah.
Bruh, like, yeah, we was Gary Vee, Peter Vu, Grant Cardone, all the motherfuckers, they lit the fire. They lit the super fire. But you're right, after a while,
you're just like, all right,
Gary Vee is like,
I've done something. What now?
What do you say to your mom and dad when they say that? I'm like, all right, Gary, this ain't really for me right now.
You know what, Young Jeezy? I love Gary Vee. I talk about all the time. When Gary Vee talk to a rapper, is my favorite thing. You know what? When I was in New York, and I was in the trap.
I was in the wine library.
You know, Killer Cam. When my dad started Wine Library, I told him to make a pink Moscato to match the pink fur cam. People in the trap need to hear this.
Can't ban the snowman. Can't ban the Merlot. That's what I say. Yeah, yo, Gary be snapping when he in there with the rappers,
bro. He turned so hood. I love it, bro. It's like my favorite.
Yes, indeed. I ain't gonna lie. Gary wanted to say nigga so bad. Anyway, listen.
Grant Cardone might. You gotta watch.
Yeah, watch out for Grant Cardone. He done said it 4 times and you ain't even hear it. He's like, wait, what? I think he said that, but I missed it.
He said so confident. You like, wait, what? What happened?
He's speaking like a G, but I think he said the N-word. Anyway, yeah. Not Gary Vee as a con artist. All right, y'all can't tear down my man.
No. Gary's cool, man.
He gonna make you get some hustle about yourself. If you ain't got no hustle, Gary's a good way to start. He'll have your ass at a guitar at a garage sale at 7:00 in the morning on a Saturday trying to find some baseball cards and shit.
Yeah, it's weird, bro, because a lot of these people who are like gurus, people say they're scams. And a lot of times I don't think that they're scams. I think it's the people falling short on understanding how to apply what they're saying. And so they think it just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen it happen so many times. Yeah, I've seen it happen so many times where people are like, oh, this is a scam. It's like, no, bro, it didn't work for you because you didn't do all the shit.
Yeah, you cheated yourself.
Yeah.
Wait, this might be the most profound statement we've had on the show all day. Dr. Love X says, Gary Vee got a big ass head. Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Love, man.
Yo, shout out my dog, man. How's Colorado, yo?
Oh man,
you know he ain't out here no more, man.
I know
he in Dorado, man.
Hey, listen, is he coming back though?
I think so.
Okay. Some pick for friends. I grew my dad's business.
That's real.
He did. Yeah. He did. I was 5 years old selling alcohol. Oh shit, we've gone over our time. Yo, beach music is gonna kill us, man. All right, listen, we gotta wrap it up, bro. What you got?
You know what, Young Jeezy? I want you to go to the producer kit. Okay, no. Go to the producerkit.com, man. It's only a few copies left. If you get Euphoria R&B loops, shout out to Trizzy Track. He did a crazy video going crazy with that joint. I think he used some of your drums too in there.
He did. He used my drums. He mixed them with your Euphoria pack, and it was one of the most amazing videos he's ever done in his life.
Facts. So if you get Euphoria right now, you get Ramp Up, which is like effects, transitions, and fills for free. It's only few copies. Few copies left. I want to say maybe like 15 last time I checked, but ain't no telling since we've been on the stream. Facts. So get that, and we got me and Oracle got some dope stuff coming. I sent it to Beats Music earlier to test some stuff out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got a few other. I invited like 4 other people, test it out. I might pull one more person from the chat, get them to test it out. You know what I mean? Pick me. Put 8 in the chat if you want to possibly be chosen. I'm just gonna snag some random person that puts it in the chat. How about that?
Fire.
What about you, Oracle? What you got going on?
Oh man, a lot. Listen, last week, as you know, Realistic and I released Digital Wax. It is not only an amazing drum kit, but it also comes with 3 bonus packs. And basically, the whole theme of this pack is we took unique modern drums, loops, all types of sounds, ran them through all the vintage samplers I had, all the tape decks and reel-to-reels I had. Then I passed them off to him. He has a ton of outboard and real analog equipment. Then we ran it through that. I sampled real vinyl off of records, real shortwave radio. We ran that through analog gear. Basically, it's just modern sounds, super drenched in analog. It also comes with chord progressions. It also comes with music loops. It's just everything you need to make a dope hit.
Yes, sir.
That's just like drenched in like real deal analog processing. No plugins. No plugins were harmed in the making of this pack. Only analog gear was harmed in the making of this pack. So if you haven't already, check out soundorchid.net. Go get Digital Wax. Also, yes, man, the first 2. Well, I actually extended it to the first 400 people. The first 400 people are eligible to win free sample packs and courses for an entire year. Okay, 5 lucky people are going to be picked on March 19th. So we have 23 spots left. 23 spots left for the next 23 purchasers. They'll automatically be entered to win free sample packs and courses for an entire year. So not only do you buy 1 kit and get 3 kits that are outrageous for free, you also get a chance to win everything free from soundoracle.net for a year. And last but not least, if you haven't already, text B-Dope to 81493 and you could be notified every Friday that we go live for this podcast, or you could just text Oracle to 81493 to get on our text mailing list in general.
More money. Okay.
So listen,
and I screenshotted the 8. So I see I got a couple screenshots, so I know who put it in there. I'm just gonna pick like 2 people randomly. Oracle, I'll let you pick them, Oracle. After we get off the stream, I'm gonna let you pick, and then we're gonna send you some info, some feedback.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? We out here.
Yes, indeed. So before our podcast producer gets upset and argues at both of us, this has been another episode of Unquantized Podcast, the realest and most interactive producer podcast that you've ever heard with your own 2 ears. And this has been another episode